Hi everybody, how you doing? Look, no coat on. Lovely and warm. Almost put my shorts on. Yeah, that ain't a sight you want to see. But yeah, weather's totally changed again. Warmed up. Was raining this morning, but it's nice and dry now. So not a lot doing. I have just swept as best I can all the stones from the bottom of the pond into one area, and I'll suck them up with me hoover. But the blanket weed I've still got is making that hard to do. So I've been and brought myself some more Aquasource Resolve. Yeah, I know it didn't work first time round with this winter stuff, but like I said, have used it before in summers and it's been brilliant. So brought some more. Gonna give it a try, put it in, just sprinkle it around, and hopefully this time it'll kill it off, because it is affecting the bottom drains working properly. So we'll go see how that goes, and we'll get on with it in a minute. Jake's out here with me. Bless him, got his nose into everything. Yeah, summer house full of all the junk, just waiting for the sunnier days to come. That's the brush I just swept it out with. Quick look at the fish. And you can see, all there waiting to be fed again. Everybody seems to be well, but where you can see, well, you can't see past them, but I swept all the stones down into that corner so I can get the hoover in there. And I've got a furry fish stood next to me waiting for his portion of the fish food. If you only knew how much this stuff cost me. Yeah, don't wait. I'm going to keep him happy for about 10 seconds. Same as the fish. But anyway, I'll get all these stones hoovered up, and you know, I'll stick the camera, underwater camera down there again, just have a little look, just see how much more needs to go, how bad the blanket weed's got, check on the fish properly. From up here they all seem to be okay, including that one. Turns his nose up at his own food, but when it's somebody else's food, including ours, or the fishes, yeah, I'll have some of that. But spring's on its way, guns springing into life, and hopefully 2 or 3 weeks time be able to lift the covers off. Keep the heater on obviously, but if it keeps warming up the way it is, then yeah, they'll be coming off in a couple of weeks time, 3 weeks time. You mind your own business. If you can see that behind the it's gone absolutely nuts. It's loving the greenhouse in there. So that might need a trim, or well, we'll see when we get the covers off, see what it's like. Yeah, decking's going to be coming up this year, and you can see the paint on here, Ronsteel anti-slip decking paint. Absolute waste of flaming space. yeah, it was great in summer, and you know, it's not the way we put it down. We put it down properly. We used the stripper, the decking cleaner, before we put it on. Deck was lovely and clean, and then we painted with this stuff. Yeah, fine in the summer, but just hasn't wintered whatsoever. Lifting, going. I know it gets quite damp up here in our area, and gets a bit green up against the wall there, but it's just, in the winter months, it just doesn't seem to stand up to traffic. It lifts off so easy. You know, sort of like under here, where it sort of stays dry because of the roof and that, it's not too bad. So yeah, so if anybody's going to use it, or thinking of using it, my advice is, yeah, don't. But yeah, the decking's going to be coming up, and it's going to be replaced with composite decking. But air source heat pumps hardly been on this week. Been coming on about once a day, I think, from what I can make out. In there, what we got? 15.8 ponds, 14.4 in the box, and oh, spiders. And both the pumps still going. Like I said, these pumps, you know, I keep going on about it, but yeah, this is an ongoing trial review sort of thing with these two pumps, and I'll tell you what, could not be more pleased with them. Cannot recommend them highly enough. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. PA series from Jabo PA series pumps. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And like I said, the air source heat pump needs a wipe off and that lot, but has hardly been on. But again, brilliant pieces of kit. Although, useful bit of information about these. Sort of like reading online on sort of like different forums and stuff like that, about some people who've got them and they've fitted their pumps when the temperatures were low and their pond water was below 8 degrees, I think it was, and the thermotex went far up. It wouldn't work. And some people spoke to heat pumps for pools, and they said, yeah, that's standard, is that if the actual inlet water temperature is below, I think it was 8 degrees, 6 or 8 degrees, the actual heat pump won't actually come into action. It won't fire up. So that's worth remembering, sort of like, not so much now because we're coming out of winter and out of the colder months, but next year, if you're thinking of getting one, and when you set one up, you've got to make sure, you know, you get it in time and your water temperature is above that sort of temperature for it to actually kick in and work. I didn't realise that, and I think a lot of people didn't realise that. So handy point to note. Fair play to heat pumps for pools. I think one of the blokes, they offered them a free inline heater just to get their water temperature up above that level, and then the heat pump could kick in. But yeah, handy point to know. Anyway, let's get these got the vac set all up. Let's get these stone hoovered out. Oh, you can just see them down there now. Now the fish has sort of had their feed. Let's try and zoom in a bit. Yeah, see them all on a nice pile down there. Hoover them up, get them out of the pond, then we'll get the underwater camera down and we'll do a filter clean.
I can't think nothing better than spending my day with you. My life is sunny and better, girl, when I'm with you. She luminous so bright like a star in the skylines. She got the looks, the good, oh boy, I need her so bad in my life. Shawty, where you wanna go, 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 go? London, Paris, Tokyo, oh, shawty, we could go. Don't need no luggage, nah, 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 nah. Don't need no stress, got
Yeah, what difference a week makes. Keep saying it, but blue skies. Hey, spring's here. Everything's starting to come out into bloom. Japanese paper bush Nobody's ever seen one of these before. The scent on the flowers there, I mean, is, oh, I mean, it's totally and utterly intoxicating. It really is. And it's out in full bloom, and you get sort of like a decent enough warm day like this one, and the air is just alive with this sweet honey scent, and it is a really strong honey smell. Absolutely beautiful. If you haven't got one in your garden, well worth it. One of the spring's earliest bloomers. As you can see, the flowers just come out, that's all that comes out, and then as they start to go over, all the leaves start to come out. But the scent in early spring, like I said, on a day like this, is just intoxicating. Really beautiful. Love these to death. So been out doing a few gardening jobs before I do any pond stuff. Now, if you've got hydrangeas, it's the time of year now to so let's see, you got the old flower heads, so you leave the flower heads on over winter. So the dead flower heads, you leave these on over winter. It helps protect the thing. Then as soon as you start to get decent sized buds coming through like these, then you just go around, cut off all the flower heads just above the first set of buds you come to. I've done most of this one, just left some on so I can sort of like show you. So I'm going to trim the rest of these off in a minute. But yeah, so that's the time of year to do that, is get your hydrangeas on. Just go around now, start hooking up any of the dead stuff that you left on the ground, sort of like on your ferns and stuff. Any of the dead leaves, just put them out now. They've done their job over winter, protecting the crowns. It's coming out of it. I know we can still have a few cold nights. I mean, it was down to sort of like about -1 last night. Orange bush, got to keep that trim because the air source heat pump. But yeah, and box is looking better now. That's it. Gave it a second coat of paint because it was warm enough and dry enough to do that. Had to jet wash out, jet washing the top of the conservatory and the path out in the alleyway out there. That was all slippery. So quick look at the koi. I'll zoom in. I will put the underwater camera down again. But everybody's singing fine. Amanda, the shower, off patch. There's Amanda just there. She was a bit off herself yesterday. Still feeding, but not like the way she normally feeds. She comes up and absolutely smashes it and pushes everybody else out of the way. She was sort of sat back and you know, sort of letting everybody else get a bit of stuff. There she is. But we did have a power cut Friday. Go off for about an hour, come on for about 10 minutes, go off for another half hour, come on. I think they were working on the line, so it may have sort of upset the water parameters a little bit, and I noticed I was getting air bubbles coming out of my return, so there was air getting in from somewhere from the power cut. But everything seems fine now, not losing any water anywhere, so yeah, quite happy with that. But yeah, you know, she's back to her normal self today, absolutely smashing the food when it goes in. So we'll put some in a minute, and like I said, we'll get the underwater camera down. The blanket weed saga still continuing. I dosed it last week, as you saw. Well, you didn't actually see me do it, but I told you I was doing it. Put it back in. I cleaned the filter out yesterday. Yeah, there was a lot of blanket weed in there, but it's still living a little bit under there. I think it is dying off, but there's still living stuff in there. So once the 10 days is up, I'll have to retreat again. This is really stubborn stuff. But like I said, hopefully it should be light enough to see. Get the camera down there and we'll have a little look and just see how bad it actually is, and whether I've got to change type of blanket weed treatment. Like I said, I use the Aquasource Resolve because I like it because it don't leave any residue, and it has worked in the past. I have had to use other products and it just leaves your pond totally white for months on end until you actually hoover up all the residue. So that's why I like the Aquasource Resolve. But anyway, yeah, we'll have a little look. Now I was hoping to, well, I had a whole video planned on something I've ordered, but unfortunately it hasn't turned up like it was supposed to have turned up. So that'll be next week now, weather allowing. Hopefully quite an interesting video, so I'm just having it this week. It's thrown me off track. I was expecting it to turn up Friday or at least first thing Saturday morning, but nothing's turned up. So it'll be here next week, so there'll be something interesting to see for you next week. So you're just having a little look at the fish, a little look at the garden, going round, just seeing how things are coming into fruition. Anyway, air source heat pump, hardly been on, just coming on I think once at night, maybe twice at night. I did lose contact with the Wi-Fi. It said offline, and for some reason, I don't know why. This was when I was away. I was at work, I was in France, and I was just keeping a check on things as you do, and couldn't actually check on it. It was offline, and this had come out and she said no, all 3 lights are on. So what you're supposed to do if it goes offline is you're supposed to turn the power off. So turning the power off, so what does that mean? You actually turn the power off at the main switch, or you turn it off at the switch there. But I've done that when I clean the filters, to turn the power off at the switch there, and it doesn't turn anything off on the you know, the screen still works, and the actual Wi-Fi box still works. So it actually means you're having to turn it off at the switch. Thankfully, because we had the power cuts, that done it for me, and it's all back online again now. But everything's going well. Let's have a look at a little box in the box. So pond sat at 16.4. Air source heat pump was last on, I think, round about what time I get up? Cut up 6:30, and it wasn't on then, and it hasn't been on since. So it's holding at 6.4, 11.1. It's a bit warmer than that outside. In the box there, it's just, no, perhaps that end. It feels warmer, yeah. But yeah, that's one there. So it's 11 degrees, but it feels a damn sight warmer out. But yeah, so the air source heat pump ain't been on all this morning. It's coming up to lunchtime now, so pond seems to be holding temperature. But the covers, I'm not going to take off just yet. There's a lot of people talking about taking the covers off, but there's also sort of like rumours of another really cold snap heading our way, but I hope not. We'll wait and see. Let's turn this bloody crutch off. Oi! Annoying me. So yeah, but I'm not going to take the covers off just yet. I'll give it 2 weeks, maybe, and then whip them off and get them cleaned up and put away in the garage. And Data Triffids in there. Mind your own business. I think that's going to need trimming down a little bit. You can just it's gone absolutely nuts over winter in the greenhouse. I suppose it's a type of greenhouse, so that'll probably need to trim up before I put my little fence piece in front of it again. Just keep it hidden. But yeah, spring's on its way, and see that? You don't normally get them survive winter. You know, winter time they normally die off, and you just sort of like in the summer you see all the little babies running around, and then they get bigger and bigger, and then they die off winter time, or you don't see him in winter time, but he's been sat there for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, so garden's all coming into life. More Japanese themed plants to go in. Just bought one of these corneas. Got to work out where to put it, but beautiful Japanese style trees. Well, come from the Far East, China, Japan, and some other places, but all over that area. Beautiful trees. Don't get too big. This particular variety don't get too big, about 4 meters. So probably when I redo the deck, it's going to go in up the top up there. Oh, he says, excuse me, Mrs. have put washing out on the line. Really annoyed me because I've got things to do, but yeah, probably put it up in the deck, up in this corner here, away a bit, let it come up, a bit more privacy. But yeah, right, a few more jobs. I'll get back to you in a minute. So, fill up the old feeding thing out of the tub. My missus said there weren't a lot left in there. Oh yeah, there's a good few weeks in there yet. I was getting worried then. I was thinking I ain't got rid of 10 kilos already. Not in winter anyway. But yeah, there it is. It's the news we've all been waiting for. JPG, Shiro. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But it is vital. I might do it that way. That's why I find it easier just to there you go. About 2 days worth at the moment, 2.5 days worth. Excuse the radio. Turned it on. But yeah. That'll do for now. They just had some, but I was sticking the camera down, so they were a little bit dubious of trying to catch them at water level feeding. The usual two suspects coming up and feeding like hell. Another one I'm thinking about getting rid of is the ghosty. I really need to make some more room for purchases forthcoming. Well, one already made, which I need to get down here, and obviously got the Adam Buyer growing show, Adam Buyer Andrew Daly growing show coming up in May, so I need to get rid of 3. So we've got ghosty, got the chocolate shag, and the little goshkiki, which for me just isn't growing at the moment. So all 3 of them are up for grabs, and if you're interested, let me know. Not prize winning fish obviously, but ideal pond fillers. You know, a little goshki, something might come of it. I'm just not getting any growth out of him. The chocolate shag, I mean, it's not a perfect example, got a lot of, but it's going to be a big fish, that's for sure. That will definitely be a big fish. Got a bit of carp pox on him, but you know, a lot of fish have, you know, his age. But yeah, you know, he's definitely going to be a big fish. So if anybody's interested in the Dorset area, preferably, let me know, and we'll sort something out about getting them out of the pond and over to you. hard decision to make, isn't it? You know, you've got to tax them no matter what they are, but small pond like this one, you're limited to fishing stock, so, you know, even once I take those 3 out, you know, take those 3 out, I've got 2 coming back. It's still going to be overstocked, but you know, it's what do? You try to keep it right, but you always get bitten by the bug, don't you? Yeah, I can make the pond bigger, but how? You know, how? Don't exactly have a lot of room. Yeah, I could build a raised one over here. Yeah, not now. Not now. I will build my ideal pond once the 2 kids I've still got left at home leave home, and me and the missus can downsize to a bungalow or something like that with a decent sized garden. That's when the forever pond will probably be built, if I ain't too old by then. Cracking on a bit now, but yeah. Anyway, I've got a few jobs to do, non-koi related, so I'll catch you in a bit. Just a little peek up underneath the covers here, where the skimmer is, and look down there, and there, the old marsh marigold starting to come up. Quite early really for it to be that far advanced because of the temperatures we have, but obviously being under the covers here, it's like a sort of like a greenhouse effect, and it's kept it going. Same as this thing here. Left outside, well, I've got some outside that's totally died back for the winter, but this has stayed nice and green and healthy underneath the covers. And if you see, sort of like there, they mind your own business there, sort of like just a bit chatty in winter, and then as I showed you earlier, underneath there in the greenhouse, totally different story. In fact, let's have a look at the stuff I've got underneath here. Pull this back a minute, because I've got other plants coming up, look, see, and then yeah, mind your own business there, a lot more healthy. Pull that out, don't want that there. A little bit dead there where it's been touching the thing, but that a little bit dead just there where it's been touching, but that'll green off. So yeah, it does pay to cover things up. Let's put that back. Alright, so just before we go to the footage where I put the camera down out in the bright sunshine, so everything was lit up and you could see all the way down to the bottom, not a problem, and all that sort of stuff, I'll cover it anyway when we go underwater. Chatterkoi, there's, you know, regular viewers and people who've been with me for a while will know about Chatterkoi. It's a koi club which was just originally in its local area, and now they sort of opened it up to people all over the country. They're on places like Facebook, and they've got their own web page. I'll post the links down below. But anyway, in conjunction with Warwickshire Koi, they had a little competition on Facebook. All we had to do was just sort of like a page and a few other bits and pieces and post that you were done. And they done the draw. There were some good prizes. I'll show you the prizes. Well impressed, but it's like there was 10 kilograms of food anyway, some blanket weed treatment, some vitalised pond treatment, a few bits and pieces. I'll show you in a minute the pictures and everything like that, what there is. Have a look at that. But anyway, I won. I was only talking to the wife the other day about saying, you know, when I can't remember what we were doing, some competition on TV or something like that, and we were like, yeah, we never win anything, not like us, but I won. Yeah, chuffed. So hopefully they'll be winging their way to me as you're watching this, and hopefully that'll be with me by the weekend when I'm doing my filming. So I go through, it's all Aquasource products, so I go through what it is, what we got, and what it does. And the food you've seen before anyway, it's the Aquasource all season with bee propolis. But the other bits and pieces, I'll go through what it does and give you my opinions. But yeah, anyway. So, and the other thing, as I said earlier on in the video, was the weekend just gone, I was hoping to have something I ordered online. And what I did order is the Senai Pond kit. So I was hoping to have that and take you through sort of like how you set it all up, get it in, and just sort of like do my first test. As I said before, and you all know, I work away. As you can see, I'm in my lorry. So I do sort of like, it does play on my mind, sort of like what's going on in the pond. My wife, bless her, she does a bit, but she doesn't know the ins and outs of things. You know, if she spots something wrong, in her opinion, she'll ring me up, and you know, you're trying to sort of talk things over on the phone. But if I got some kind of pond monitoring going on, then at least I'll be able to keep, you know, be able to check up online, and sort of like the main things like ammonia, water level drops, pH swings, temperature changes. You know, at least I can sort of like be aware of that, and if anything happens, then I can make a phone call and sort of like try and take the appropriate action. But yeah, so hopefully that'll be with us again this week, hopefully, fingers crossed. And so I'll be able to cover that as well. Unfortunately, it is the time of year where the pond's still quiet, but you know, other things are springing into life and work needs to be done. That's why this video's been split over 2 weeks, and I'm not really sort of covering a great deal of interest for you, but things are getting better, stuff on its way for interest. I was going to try and build myself one of these upflow filters, like virtually, well, it seems to be virtually every man and his dog in the entire country who owns a pond is building one at the moment. There's plenty of videos online. Best by far so far is Righty's version, where he's automated it. And if you're interested, if you go over to his web page, and I'll post a link down below for that as well, he's just released his plans for the automated upflow filter. So you know, for a few pennies you can sort of like buy the plans and download a PDF on how to make it, where to purchase all the bits that he's used, and how to do it. But yeah, but like I said, I was going to do my own, have a go at it. But like I said, from phone calls I've had sort of like with various suppliers of acrylic tube, sort of like 150 or 200 millimeter clear tubes in 1 meter, 2 meter lengths or whatever. Most places are sold out. They've said they've had a sudden rush on it. They've never sold so much of the stuff. So, I mean, obviously there's a few places out there still selling it, and some of them are phoning up, and it was just stupid money. I mean, I could virtually afford to buy sort of like, you know, a complete Tempest already built, which is defeating the object. This is sort of like doing it cheaper. But yeah, so it seems to be there's a bit of a shortage of the acrylic tubes at the moment. From all you guys out there building your own, good luck to you. You know, fair dues. So I'll put that on the back burner for now, and like I said, I'll concentrate on these Aquasource products coming down and the Senai when it turns up, and then maybe I'll be sort of like, the shops will be restocked and I'll be able to sort of like build my own upflow. It's all fair enough building it, but it's working out where to put it. All right, okay, going to dive down into the pond, have a little look, see what's happening with the blanket weed. I'll see you down there in a minute. And straight down, and all the hungry chaps come straight over to the camera, their little nose, thinking it's food. But already you can see, now you've got a bright sunny day and the light's coming through the perspex covers, that it's green down there. Hello. Hello mate, hello. Yes, it's not food. But anyway, like I said, you can see it's green. Not as bad as what it was before, I don't think. There's some patches on the edges that seem to have sort of like dying back, and looking at it there, it does sort of seem to be a little bit thinner. But like I said, if you look in there, you can see how it's trapping debris and everything, and you know, obviously all the stones. So I tried to sweep them up, but they just get caught in there. You can see it's the fine, wiry, hairy stuff. But you can see it like it's trapping everything, and it's not getting sucked down towards the bottom drain. Now I could try and sort of like put a stiffer brush on there, but I'm just a bit worried about tearing the liner. And you can see how it's all been pulled down towards the centre drain, to the bottom drain, and going into it. So yeah, over there it looks particularly thick. But a bit flummoxed is what to do, really. You know, I'll wait till the 10 days up, and I might as well use up the Corio because it's on the walls over there. So yeah, I will put the Resolve in, but I don't know. It might be a case of waiting until I take the covers off and try and tackle it then, really. I can see me having to go down the clover leaf, clover leaf, I can't remember the name of it now, but the clover leaf stuff, you can see me having to go down that route, and having to leave all the debris, all the detritus on the bottom of the pond, down the white pond bottom, for a little while. Might have to wait until I get my week off, actually, for that, because that's gonna, the filters will probably need cleaning quite a bit when I do that. But yeah, like I said, you can see how it is affecting the bottom drain being sucked down there. Let's have a look up there, just have a look at the spillway, and yeah, you can tell that's being slowed down a little bit by a bit of blanket weed on the spillway as well. So that needs jet washing off as well. Yeah. The fish seem okay, like I say. There's Amanda, and like I said, she was a bit off colour yesterday, but she seems right as rain now. I suppose, you know, they're like us, who, you know, you might have a bad day every now and again, don't feel up to it. And that was the chocolate chag there. That's one I want to get rid of. Like I said, it's not the cleanest of fish, but it will be a big fish. And just trying to look for the goshiki, so if we can get that in camera shot. Just down the bottom there's the little goshiki, which, like I said, it's quite a decent fish, pattern wise and everything like that, but I'm just not getting the growth out of it. I mean, that was the same size as the chag, which is swimming just right next to there. They were both the same size when I got them, and you can see the chags growing as chags do, but I won't know until I get them out into a bowl. But I don't think the goshki's growing more than a centimetre in a year. So well, it's not quite a year, it's about 7 or 8 months, I suppose it is. Maybe a bit longer than that. I'll have to look back and find out when I got them. But yeah, not put on a lot of growth, not really. Not comparing when you think the platinum that was just swimming over there was, when I first put it in, was smaller than the goshiki, and it's overtaken. But yeah, they all seem healthy, and like I said, you know, those three up for grabs. Ghosty, we've seen floating around, little goshiki, and the chocolate chag is all up for grabs. And there's me trying to get a bit arty now, put some food in and bring the camera half in half out of the water, try and get some gulping shots of the fish trying to eat, but my lot being my lot, just coming up and going, yeah, right, no, you know, they stay under the water, but they're not playing ball. No, they just up and swim away. No. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, it's not too bad in there. Everything's apart from the blanket weed, which being, like I said, an absolute flaming pain. Check on it again weekend coming. Like I said, that'll be over the 10 days, so if I need to redose again, I'll redose, but fingers crossed it will, you know, there will be signs of it dying back. I just don't know what to do, because I need to get that bottom clean. Really need to get that bottom clean. Alright guys, well that's it. Hope you have a good week. If you're working, you know, good week at work. If you're at home, I hope you're not too bored. At least you can have a bit of sunshine this week to enjoy. Anyway, everybody, you stay safe. To all of my new subscribers, I want to say welcome, thank you. We're getting up there towards the 1,000 mark and to the big giveaway. So, you know, if you've got friends out there who ain't subscribed, chuck them over, tell them to subscribe, and then once we hit that 1,000 subscribers, then, you know, I'll be doing the giveaway on the Hanometer of your choice. Alright, and guys, stay safe, look after yourselves, and remember, it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle.